Excuse me. All right. Welcome back to a brand new video of the Target Individual Program, Target Individual Experience. So, of course, the perps are mad. After the severe attack, the severe blitz, I should say, yesterday with the noise campaign, and them using the fire trucks. And like I said, I've learned too much to let them continue to affect me in some ways that, once I learn how to gain control of it, then, fight back, right? So they're upset, particularly when they try to use their religious bullshit, right? You know what I'm saying? Because again, the vast majority of people who believe in religion, particularly black people, they are believers and not people that know. Okay? So I was talking to my sister. I was telling her, I said, listen, because her grandson, he lacked the ability to stay still, right? So he has attention deficit disorder, right? And this is something that these children are born with, most of them have attention deficit disorder because of the parents, right? Particularly when you see the majority of particularly black children who are diagnosed with attention ADHD come from single parent home, right? I should say comes from home that are head of household or the mothers with no fathers in the house, right? And because again, the mother they're too busy doing themselves instead of paying attention to the children, right? These kids develop ADHD, right? And this is particularly prevalent within the black community, within the black population. And what the white races have done is manipulate them into having their children diagnosed as such instead of them doing the work and teaching their children what's right. Right? So it's one thing I agree with Dr. Umar Johnson when he says that the majority of black children diagnosed with ADHD, he's absolutely right, because the parents are too busy, the mothers I should say, are too busy doing that, right? They don't want to give custody of the children to the father because they want the child support. And they use the child support for their own selfish wants, not for the need of the child, okay? So that's why, because when you look at the statistics, children living with their father do just as well as children living in two-parents household, with two biological parents, and that's a fact. That is a fact, right? But just like the selfishness of women, because they are very selfish, this is in their nature, right? And again, too, we as black men are not taught, and black women are not taught, the nature of men and women. We are not taught that, right? And I was telling my sister, I was talking to her, I was giving her some advice in terms of how to keep him still. Whenever he's running around and she can't get control of him, I said, you need to have him sit down, nothing in his hand, and have him count. Have him count to 60, right? And he's 5 years old. My nephew was like, so I said, and then have him count to 120. So my grandnephew was like, he can't count to 120. I said, why not? Why can't he count to 120? But you see, that is the mindset that they instill in young people, right? That a 5-year-old child cannot count to 120. Of course. Because we don't take the time to make them count to 120. Right? I used to do the same thing with my daughter and my son. Right? But again, their mother would always interfere. And so then he's like, well, when they hear, and again, this is a 23-year-old argument, right? And my sister's right, because she allowed them when they were younger teenage years to disrespect me. I keep telling her that, right? Because again, they're not raised on in a household where you have a mother and a father, right? And again, that's the cycle that's been passed down to my mother, to her. Well, my grandmother was married, but my mother was, right? And her daughters are all divorced now, right? 2 of them were married. Actually, one of them is still married, but the rest are divorced, right? So again, not raising children with a male authority within the home, is at a great disadvantage. But they don't want to hear that. They're just about their selfish need. Like I said, whether it be church, partying or what have you, or going on trips, that is their primary concern, not the concern of their children, teaching their children the right thing. All right? And when the father tries to step in and say, shush, guess what? That look, GPV 3322, number 32. Right? Those children have already adopted the mindset that the mother conditioned into them. All right? Talk to you guys in this video.